The Australian Strategic Policy Institute, ASPI, released a report on June 17 titled Genomic Surveillance Inside China's DNA Dragnet. The report claimed that China's Ministry of Public Security, Chinese police, conducted a compulsory DNA data collection on a mass scale in late 2017. Observers believe that this action not only violates human rights and personal privacy, but also exacerbates political persecution. The report indicated that DNA samples were collected from people residing in 22 of China's 31 administrative regions, excluding Hong Kong and Macau, and across more than 100 municipalities between late 2017 and April 2020. According to the report, the authorities have collected DNA samples from 5 to 10% of China's male population, or roughly 35 to 70 million people, since late 2017. Furthermore, those individuals have no control over how their samples are collected, stored, and used, nor do they have a clear understanding of the potential implications of DNA collection for themselves and their extended families, the report said.
I remember that in 2017, the Ministry of Public Security announced in a meeting that they were going to establish a national-level data platform where individual information such as fingerprints, DNA, vocal recording, and facial recognition will be collected. Other information like telephone numbers and speaking tones will also be collected. Who is willing to give out their own personal DNA? DNA is such a private information. Who wants it to be controlled by a country, a government, or an agency? It is impossible that anyone would want that.
The report said the authorities are collecting samples from selected male citizens across China. This targeted approach gathers Y-STR data, the short tandem repeat, or unique DNA sequences that occur on the male Y chromosome. When these samples are linked to multi-generational family trees created by the police, they could link any DNA sample from an unknown male back to a specific family and even an individual. For instance, authorities in Henan achieved 98.71% genetic coverage of the province's total male population by collecting Y-STR samples from 10% of the province's men and developing family trees for nearly all of the province's patrilineal families.
This large scale of DNA collection was first carried out in concentration camps in Xinjiang because every ethnicity has a different group of DNA. It can be used as a genetic weapon or used to commit genocide against an ethnic group. That is why DNA collection is useful.
According to the report, the compulsory collection of biological samples among non-criminal offenders is not currently authorized under Chinese law. Article 132 of the revised 2018 Criminal Procedures Law only permits the collection of fingerprints, blood, and urine samples from victims or suspects in criminal proceedings.
In China, the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, controls a large supply chain of human organs and benefits from the live harvesting of human organs. As soon as the CCP collected the DNA of the majority of the Chinese people, it would be easy for them to use the data to find the match when they or other interest groups need human organs. They will legally and wrongfully charge you so they can take your organs, which is very scary.
This large-scale collection of DNA samples not only violates privacy rights, but also violates international human rights norms. In particular, when the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, uses the DNA databank in conjunction with other surveillance tools, it strengthens the CCP's control over its citizens and allows it to further crack down on dissent in order to maintain its political stability.
This issue is way bigger than just a privacy issue. It means that all Chinese people are imprisoned in a large jail, and they can be slaughtered at any time. We have collected over 3,000 papers published by Chinese doctors, and we can see that the so-called donor has been rigorously grouped in the field of organ transplants, which means that more than 94% of the donors are young males.
The Australian Strategic Policy Institution urged the Chinese regime to immediately put an end to its large-scale collection of DNA samples from ordinary Chinese civilians. It also called on the United Nations to investigate possible human rights violations related to the CCP's DNA data collection program and broader programs of biosurveillance. The CCP plans to expand the DNA database to 100 million records by 2020. To achieve this, they will need to collect nearly as many records each year as the database the United States has built up over the past 20 years.